And we are seeing a heavy police presence at a home in Homestead where the suspect accused of stealing the boat that was intercepted in Cuban waters lived. Since this morning, police and Homeland Security agents have been at the home, and the investigation remains active tonight. And as you might imagine, emotions are running high in South Florida after the deadly encounter at sea.
And our live team coverage continues with NBC6's Valerie Ryan, who's live in Little Havana with how loved ones are remembering those who were lost. Valerie.
Well, Trina Joanne, like you guys mentioned earlier, Cuban authorities say 10 people were aboard that boat. 4 were killed, 6 were injured and then detained. And tonight here, the Cuban community gathered at Versailles to honor those individuals.
Libertad! Libertad! Libertad!
Cubans in Miami chanting for freedom,
Que usted permita que la libertad llegue a nuestro país.
while also paying tribute to the men killed in an apparent shootout with Cuban Coast Guards off the coast of Cuba Wednesday.
You're saying it was a massacre?
Family members and loved ones of the deceased and detained now trying to pick up the pieces. Wife and daughter of Conrado Galindo Sariol, one of the men Cuban authorities say is in custody. Sariol's wife says her husband went to work Sunday and never came home. Another man injured and detained, Leordan Cruz Gomez. His wife says her situation was similar.
I thought my husband working in Arizona. I feel so sad, angry, worried about him.
And while fear and worry wash over these families, for loved ones of the men who were killed, the pain runs even deeper. The wife of Ledian Padron Guevara, distraught over the loss of her husband. The brother of Miguel Ortega Casanova, remembering his brother as a hardworking and simple man. And a friend of Pavel Aying Peña, still struggling to understand his death.
Porque era demasiado inteligente.
She says he was very intelligent. Family members of both the men detained and deceased describe them as fathers, sons, friends, and most importantly, committed to liberating Cuba.
Frustration with how things are going inside of Cuba. Nothing changes. The regime doesn't want anything to change. It's time for it to end. It's time to change a regime that has murdered many people.
Now, Cuban authorities have labeled these 10 men as terrorists, but people here tonight were calling them heroes. We're live in Little Havana. Valerie Ryan, NBC6 News.
Valerie, thank you for that.